Hi class. So far, our discussion about SEM has been about what's going on behind the scene on the backstage. Today, we are going to get onto the stage to start performing the analysis. There are several popular SEM software available, and we are going to use Mplus for this course. One of the reasons is that this software is available as a university licensed software, and you can access it through citrix.memphis.edu. And you need your university username and password to log on into the system. Once you get in, you can search for Mplus, and you will have it here. Just click and open the launcher. You will have Mplus pop up as this on your computer. You will have three types of files in Mplus. First, you need to create a data file. Then you need to write your command file. Sometimes I call the command file the syntax file. When you have the data file and the command file ready, you can run the command file. Mplus will generate the output file for you. You have a choice between two types of data files. The first type is the summary data file. In the summary data file, you can have either a correlation matrix with variable standard deviations or a covariance matrix. Sometimes you can have variable means in there too, but it's not required. It's only needed for certain types of analysis. Most people prefer the second type of data file, in which raw data are included. Regardless of the type of data files you would like to prepare, I strongly encourage you to prepare your data in SPSS. I have another video in which I showed you how to get the correlation or covariance matrix from SPSS. Up to this point, Mplus cannot import the data file directly from SPSS format. So what you need to do is once you complete the preparation in SPSS, save the data in the tab delimited ASCII format. It's not required. I always name my data files with extension .dat so I can easily tell which files are my data file. Okay, let's look at the example from last week. Here I have 4 measured variables, and I'm going to show you how to run this analysis in Mplus. Here is the information I generated in SPSS. For the 4 variables, I have their standard deviations and the correlation matrix. In Mplus, in this text editor, you can just put that information in there. Make sure the standard deviations goes first before the correlation matrix. Then save your data file. I'm going to save as Mplus week 3 example 1.dat. Remember, this is a summary data file. Then you need to have a new window for your command file. This is the command file I prepared. Before I put the information into Mplus, I just want to show you what I have in this file. First thing, please pay attention. I have 5 blocks of information: data, variable, analysis, model, and output. Each block begins with a command, and each command end with a colon. The first block, data, provides information about your data file. The syntax is straightforward. You have file is, put the file name in there. Type is, you know you have standard deviations and correlation in there. Number of observations are 200. Make sure your file name is correct, matches with the file name you gave to your data file. And if you had covariance matrix in your data file, the information will change for the keyword type. Also, you need to make sure you have the right sample size, the number of observations. Lines that begin with an exclamation mark is for comments only. In the block that start with the word variable, you need to provide information about the variables in your dataset. After this keyword's names are, make sure you listed your variables in the same order that you created your dataset. You can use all the variables in your dataset for your analysis, or you can use only some of them. Just change the syntax after the word use variables are. Under the command analysis, you specify your estimation method and the type of analysis. In this example, the type is general. The estimation method is maximum likelihood. Both are default values. Under the command model is where you specify your model structure. This is why I always ask you to write your structural equations. In our example, there are two endogenous variables, which means that we need to write two structural equations. In each of the structural equation, you need to specify the exogenous variables that have direct impact on that particular endogenous variable. In the command file, you first specify the endogenous variable, then the keyword on, then the exogenous variables that have direct impact on the endogenous variable. Similarly, for the second endogenous variable, SAT math, you have a keyword on, then you have the three exogenous variables that have direct impact on SAT math. Finally, in the last block, following the keyword output, you want to specify what kind of information you would like to see in your output file. Here, I ask for the standardized estimate along with multiplication indices and sample statistics. When you type the command file into a Mplus window, you can see that the commands are highlighted in blue, and the comment lines are in green. You want to save your command file with the extension name .inp. Okay, remember you have extension name .dat for your data file. Okay. Once both your data file and your command file are ready, you can hit this little button, Run. And the third window will pop up. That is your output file. I have a quick summary of those commonly used commands on the slides, but I definitely want you to read chapter 4 of the textbook. Also, I compiled a beginner's manual just for you to get better knowledge about Mplus. That should be sufficient for you to go through this semester. In the menu, I actually provide here a snapshot of a raw data file. And you can see -9 was used for missing values. We will do more exercise with raw data file in the future. Now, I would like you to create your own summary data file and your syntax file based on the information I provided on the slides. You can pause the video and do the exercise. In our Zoom meeting, I will have one-on-one discussion with you about the problems you might have encountered when you did this exercise. Finally, I would like to highlight the few tips I want for you to keep in mind. First, prepare your data in SPSS. And when you are ready, you want to save the information in an Mplus data file for your analysis. Second, save your Mplus data file and command file in the same folder on your computer. This would make your life much easier. Third, always make sure the variables are named in the command file in the same order by which you created your data file. I cannot stress enough how important this is. Finally, remember to end all comments with a colon and all subcomments with a semicolon. Pay attention to those details. Those little things could throw you into big trouble if you miss those details. Okay, we will talk about output file next week.